I'm Leslie Logan with Profitable Pilates, and I am coming at you from Siem Reap, Cambodia. I am about to do my Pilates retreat here. But before I do that, I have 3 hot tips for converting first-time clients that Balance Body and I want to share with you. So my first one is, what's their why? Second is, teach them how to move and how to work with you. And my third tip is, let it be a little ugly. So let's talk about the first one. What is their why? So why did they decide to come to Pilates in the first place? And how did they find you? These are important things to know, because if they are looking for something that you don't offer, you can actually use that to your benefit, right? You can explain to them what it is that you do and how as you do that, and then move them. And you'll actually be able to introduce to them a new way of thinking about what Pilates is, and they'll be able to fall in love with you and spend more time with you. Plus, they'll trust you because you're really honest with them. If someone referred them to you and you know who that someone is, that also helps you, because if you know who that client is and what they think Pilates is and what their Pilates experience is, you can use it as information to inform you about what this person thinks Pilates is going to be. Basically, when you are helping someone decide to do Pilates with you, they are not going to learn all there is about Pilates. They're not going to even know what Pilates is, like even a percentage. And so if you're busy trying to teach them all the things about Pilates, and then all the things that you know about Pilates, and then trying to get them to come in with you, it's just really overwhelming. And of course they have to think about it. So what is more important is to find out what their goals are, even if they're not something that Pilates can actually do, right? If they're like, I want to lose a ton of weight, or I want to rock climb the Himalayas. Pilates can help in its own way get them to where they want to go. You might not be a nutritionist and you might not be a hiking coach for the Himalayas, but you can help get them stronger and move them better and keep them healthier within their body, and then they can go make those decisions on hiring the right Himalayan hiking coach and nutritionist for those other goals. So you just have to be honest, but you also want to let them feel like you heard what they have to say, and then use that information within the session. And I'll explain that at my next point. If they think Pilates is a high intensity interval training workout or jumping jacks, knowing those things before you go into the session is going to help you really educate them in a way of what a session is like with you, right? So what is their why? And why did they come to you? And what do they expect to get out of this Pilates session, if anything? This is going to make it a lot easier for you to have some background information on how to teach them. My second one, teach them how to move and how to work with you. So if you are working for a studio that you work for is going to have a system in place for how a client comes in for a session, how they schedule that session, and how they schedule future sessions. It's really important that you know what that system is and that you follow along with it. It'll make it easier for the client. They'll feel like it's a very professional place. They'll value you and the session, and they'll know what to do next. Clients don't always know what the next step is after a first-time session, and so if you just finish the session, you're like, okay, thanks, and then you expect them to buy a package, that's not always going to happen, right? So just like you would teach them how to do the 100 or how to do a teaser, you're actually going to teach them how to come into a session, what to expect, and then how to work with you. If you're an independent contractor, that is all explained up front, right? If this is your own client that found you through a website or through a referral, it's very important that you tell them what to do for their first session, what to bring in, what to expect, and then what to do later for the next session. So instead of saying, so how'd you feel about that session? You're going to say, thank you so much. It was awesome to work with you. I like to see my clients 2 to 3 times a week. These are the goals that you came in with, and this is how often I think you should work with me to achieve those goals in this timeline, right? Going back to what's their why. So there's another way you can get a client, and that's a lot of renters rent from studios that maybe the studio is famous, or there's a lot of PR that goes around it, so they get a lot of people coming to the studio, and as a renter you can benefit from that. So if that studio has a fee or a referral fee, pay the fee and get the client, because you're going to get paid 10 times over, and that's going to be really awesome for you. But you're going to have to tell the client how to work with you in the future, right? Because if they contacted the studio but instead they're actually supposed to schedule with you after that, then you're going to want to be able to explain that to them so they know how to work with you in the future. Otherwise, when we call in the studio and it's going to be a lot of miscommunication, it's not going to feel professional or fun for them. Pilates is a lot of things, so the more questions you can answer in the beginning to make them feel that they are taken care of and in good hands, the better it is. Lastly, let it be ugly. It's their first session. They need to move. They need to actually feel what Pilates is. You cannot talk Pilates into a body, so you're welcome. You don't actually have to do that. Remember I said you don't have to teach them all there is to know about Pilates and all there is that you know about Pilates. Instead, let them feel. They're not going to do nearly as many exercises in their first session that they would do in the second 10 sessions. So what you need to pick for them is important. Tell them why you chose that exercise for them. Even if every single client starts off with the same exercise every single session, you tell them what that exercise is going to do for their body that goes along with why they came into Pilates. That goes back to my first point. Then let them feel the exercises, and instead of saying, oh, shoulders down, or don't do that, don't do this, oh, shoulders down again, and you're trying to correct all the body parts, it's their first session. It's going to be a mess. They don't even know what they don't know is wrong with them. So move them, let it be safe, pick exercises that they can do and they can mess up safely, but instead of telling them what not to do, tell them what to do instead, and then tell them why you chose that exercise for them, so they feel that you're picking exercises that are purposely chosen for them, that are specific to what their body needs and what their goals are. They're going to feel like you know their body better than they do, and they're going to feel really positive about it, so they're going to want to come back in again. So with those 3 hot tips, I hope you have a lot of fun with your next first time session, and that you actually can take the pressure off of trying to explain all the things there is to do about Pilates and make them be perfect at it, because they won't be perfect at it. It's not a Pilates perfection, right? It's Pilates practice. And go enjoy converting all your new clients. I'm so thankful to bring these to you, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.